thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Do appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and get started here with working on some design stuff. And we're going to start from the ground up. What's going on, Jen? What's going on? Hopefully you guys can see this. We're all here. Like I said, I've been having trouble with OBS. It just hasn't been it lately. I don't know why, but we're going to make the most of it and we're going to get through it. So without further ado, we're going to get started here. I'm going to go ahead and create a square document in Illustrator. Right now I'm using Illustrator. Again, guys, if you don't have, there are tons of free programs out there. The principles that I'm going to be teaching you are the same across everything. So someone's here. So yeah, no worries if you don't have this. However, if you are looking to be more professional and take a more professional route, then of course I would recommend getting Adobe. I think the Creative Cloud is like $55 a month, but you get everything. So it's worth it in that opinion. And if you're going to be doing this, you know, on a semi-regular basis, then it definitely pays for itself. Lots of cool stuff in the program. But we're going to go ahead and start off by creating a square here. I like to work in 1080 by 1080 pixels. And that's mainly because that's about the size of a large video. So this will be easy to kind of move around. And guys, we do have the bean zone, just so you're aware, even though things might not be working. It's time. The bean zone is there, okay? Look, there's Haha Levitt. She's all super happy. We got the bean zone. So just so you know, it's there. But back to what we were doing. I'm going to most screen things are 72 ppi. I'm going to change it to 300 because I like to work in that little bit higher resolution. Amy, what's going on? It started. Yay. I know, we're actually here. I'm excited. Like I said, we've been having some technical difficulties, so you know, these were some of the designs I did before. We'll take this one as an example, if it'll load here. Okay. We'll take this one and this one. I'm going to copy them and bring them over here just for reference of like size and color. So we got our spicy bean and our cheam creams. Okay. With Adobe, you also get fonts that you can get and sync for free. So that's pretty cool. This is the font that I've been using. We're going to go ahead and do a Ranch Mitch thing. That's going to be the thing that we're going to work on right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this text up here for reference. Get rid of this. 3 jobs right now. Oh my gosh, she's listening. Okay, Jen, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm going to give you all the tips. All the tips and everything. I'm going to go to I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to look up ranch dressing bottle and see what comes up. So here's our ranch, and somebody's already created a really cool like ranch thing. So I don't know why it's not letting me take. I want to take a little screenshot of it. Grab my screenshot tool here. That's fine. And then I'm going to take a screenshot of these. Oh, here comes Matthew. What it do, Matthew? And I like the oh, this is a thick bottle of ranch here, buddy. Let's go ahead and copy this image. And then we're going to go back over and paste it in. Work smart, not hard, guys. We're going to teach you how to do this. Okay. I'm also going to move this over. This is the screenshot we took. So now we kind of have some references here to look at in terms of like how we're going to create this other design. Oh, Ty, what? Yes, Ranch Mitch. We need some of that. So is Nick and Kevin, what? Yes, we all have burbs. Those are the birds. Those are the Matthews. There's nary a Greg in that bunch of Matthews there. So yeah. So this is we've got a layer here. It's everything just kind of just gets stacked on this one layer right up here, as you can see. That's going to be like our reference layer. So I'm going to lock it and create a new layer here. And then I'm going to zoom in, and there's a couple different ways that you can do something like this. If you have a tablet, then you can obviously trace and draw over this. You can use the pen tool and plot points, and this looks really bad. But you can do something like that where you like trace around. I won't drag it. And do it really rough. And then you can fix it like so. And kind of move things around to whatever you like. And I know it looks rough, but that's kind of the point right now because of what I'm going to show you. So if you get something like this where you're just kind of clicking around and you're like, I got something, which it looks like we might need another point here. So I'm going to go up to these tools, and if I hit this button, I can get all of them. And I'm going to go to the one with a plus sign, and I'm going to add in a point here. There we go. So now we have something that looks like a bottle, right? And we can take this bottle and use an effect called, where's it at? Stylize. Round corners, and we can round the corners, and it will take all those sharp edges and make them round. So then we've got a bottle right here that looks more like a bottle. Doesn't look perfect, obviously, because we just kind of roughly did it, but that's okay. We're just going to use that as a reference just to show you that you can do it. Well, now what I did up here is I went up to select. I went to object, and expand. And that basically takes the effect and makes it one shape. So I'm invested watching, learning. I might be getting ranch. We're all going to be getting ranch, right? We're all going to be getting it. So, we're going to try that later. Get out of there. So this is one way to do a bottle, right? Okay. A really interesting thing that Illustrator has is called image trace. And if you go up here if you select an image, right? I selected it. And you go up here to image trace at the very top. There's a drop down box, and you can actually select a variety of different ways to portray this, like a technical drawing, line drawing, so many colors, whatever. You can do something like 16 colors, and then it will automatically turn that into a rough drawing. So right there, if you wanted to be like, I just want it to look like it's illustrated, I'm not doing much, you can do that. And then you can expand it and remove the white background, and boom, we've got ranch right there, and it took us less than 30 seconds to do. But let's go back. Okay. Just a fun little way to do that. Is your favorite color green? No, my favorite color, well, it's my second favorite color. It's my second favorite color. My favorite color is orange. I'm just using green because there's lots of green right here, and I pulled from this thing right here. So that's it. It's just all one color. You can change the color to whatever you want. But I'm going to go through here and I'm going to pen tool this out in a unique way with this tool, which is, it's a pen tool, but it allows me to make curves. More natural curves. And if you go in here and click the last curve, you can straighten it out. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Ooh, don't want to do that. Again, the Alt key is your friend. So now we have a different style of bottle. And if I go in here, you can see there's some spots missing. We can kind of fix this up a little bit, adding a few more points if we need to. Looks like this would be good if there is one right here. So now we've got a different style bottle right here, which, interestingly enough, you know, there's still some spots here that aren't as smooth, right, as this one. So if you use the direct select tool, which is this white arrow up here instead of the black arrow, you can click on the object and these little handles will appear. And you can drag them to smooth out some edges, whatever that you're working on. So now we've got a couple bottles to work with. I like this bottle better, even though it was really roughly done. It kind of has a better feel to it, in my opinion. This one's good, but I'm going to use this one. And I am going to kind of modify it a little bit. Something like that. Okay. Stretch it. Now I've got this bottle. Now we can change the color. I'm going to hit the I key and then head over to the eyedropper and select the ranch, which, as you can see, is not white. It's a nice off-white. There's a couple ways I can do this. Art is all about shapes. Drawing is all about shapes. Okay? So we've got shapes here. It's about figuring out what each shape is and kind of going from there. Now with this, you can take this tool again and kind of give it some dimension here. right now. I'm just making the lip of the bottle. So this is going to be the lip of the bottle right here. Let's move it down a little bit. I'll grab these 2 points, kind of bend that in. And then we're going to take this, go over here to this Pathfinder tool. The Pathfinder tool is your friend. What are we going to do? What are we going to use the emote for? It's going to be on TikTok and on YouTube. So it's going to be Ranch Mitch. Whenever you're feeling like you just need to put some ranch on it, you know what I mean? Just a little bit, a little dab of ranch will do. This is what you want. Okay, I'm also going to, I will say this, it's the little things that you do that really make a big difference in your artwork. You know, just moving this slightly down, giving it slight curve so it has a little bit more dimension to the bottle, because it is a flat image. So, and then like I said, I can go through here. I can just rough do that really quick. Rough use the pen tool. It's not good grammars, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna go down here and grab this again. It adds a few more points in here. Let's see. Okay, again, here we have this nice bottle. I've got the label here. It's all jagged, so we can either do it 2 ways. We can go up and round the corners, or I can select the direct select tool and pull those down. Now I've got something a little better, but let's try the rounding tool first. Round corners, we did it. That'll work. Does a better job. Does a better job of rounding everything. So you can see the outline here. Interesting. Lincoln, thanks for the tutorial on this. Yeah, no worries. You've been using Illustrator and Photoshop for 20 years, and not enough people are willing to teach it seems. Wow, you're right. That I've been using it for not that long. I think like 15, 16 years. So you're right. I think a lot of people like to use Photoshop for a lot of things, but Illustrator is much more versatile. And one of the great things about Illustrator is the fact that when you create something, you have a vector image, meaning it's based on math. When you work in Photoshop, you have a pixel-based program, and so it has a finite size to it, right? Like every pixel is a specific size, and it can't go beyond that. Like it'll get pixelated, as it were. So vector is definitely the way to go. You can see here with the rounding tool, this red path is where my shape was originally. Right now, it would have taken me some time to go around here and get a smooth line if I didn't have a tablet. But tablets can be hard to come by, so the pen tool can be your friend in this. And again, after I've got it, I'm happy with it, I'm gonna go up to Object and go to Expand Appearance. And that usually, it's either expand or expand appearance. Those are the two options that will come up for you. Okay, let's go down here again to our bottle. And we've got these lines, right? Now, the reason I marked off these lines is so that way I can make cuts into the object that I'm using. And that's why I said the Pathfinder is your friend. I'm not going to go through these individually of what they all do, but the main ones you need to know are Unite and Divide. You can get away with knowing just these two. One of them unites everything. So that way, essentially, if these were all different colors and I wanted them to be the same color, then it would unite these objects. Same with this. Like if I wanted to unite these two objects, like if I wanted to get rid of this, I could make it, or essentially unite these two objects like this, and it would go away. And so now the entire thing is blue. But what we're going to do is we're going to take these and we're going to make some cuts into our bottle. And then we can go over here, grab a color, grab another color. I'm going to try and grab the greenest portion of each, or the most colored portion of it. So we've got ranch here, seemingly ranch. Okay. This is what this is. Yes. There's a mobile app, but I don't know how to use it. It's going to be harder to, anything you do on a mobile app is definitely going to be harder. Yes, there is a mobile app for it, but I think it's limited on what it can do. The same principles are going to be there, right? Like same stuff's going to be there, but it's mainly going to be much easier to use on a desktop. That's what professionals are going to be using. So let's go in here. I got an itchy nose today. And one of the interesting things that this bottle does, now that we've got this basic bottle of ranch, and you might be saying there's nothing basic about ranch, Bruno. It is amazing, and you're right. But we're gonna zhuzh it up a little bit, okay? So you can see this person over here. One of the things that they did was they added this nice little line here, for same with this one, to kind of give a shape to the bottle, because there are these lines right here, and I like that idea. So I'm gonna kind of mix the two, and we're going to use the pen tool again, and we're going to make a shape, which, as you can tell, it's a crescent and not a line. So we're going to go up here over to the side here, which you might not be able to see on the screen, but we're going to turn it into a stroke. Same thing with up here. You can do it up here as well. We're just going to swap the colors, and now we have this line. Now, interestingly enough, they used a black stroke over the entire thing. So let's see what we can do. We're going to grab the entire object with which I'm going to delete this because we don't need it. I'm going to grab the object with the select tool and go back over to the Pathfinder and unite all those objects again. So now it's right back to where we were. Okay. Let's swap it and add a thick stroke. And I'm also going to drop this down in color a bit, so it's darker. And this is going to be our stroke for this bottle. If you select both bottles, at the top here, you'll get this align tool that is really, really helpful. And you can either align it to the selection, meaning whatever you select, you can align it to, or you can align it to the canvas to get it properly centered in the canvas. But right now, since I'm working off the canvas, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to unite these two like so. And now we've got a stroke on the bottle that looks much better. The stroke is currently on top, and if I want to send it backwards, I can. Now we've got it kind of on the back of this bottle here. So we can raise the stroke here. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you are, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I know this is not what our usual streams are, but you requested it, so that's what we're doing. We're going to try it out. Why not? Now, one of the things I did was I took this stroke, right? And I added some beef to it. And I went up here to the width profile. And there's lots of different width styles that you can do. You can do something like that. Which, interestingly enough, this will probably be what I choose to do for this one. But as you can see, there are different styles for whatever you want. But I'm going to show you a little secret. You're all in for this. Thank you so much, Coordinate. I appreciate that. I really do. Really do. I'm glad you guys are here. So I like this shape, but it's kind of sharp, as you can see, and I don't like the sharpness. Well, we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're going to select the shape, go up here to Object, expand the appearance, and now it's no longer a stroke or a line. It is a full object. And now, if we press the Direct Select tool and zoom in, it might let us here. Sometimes they choose not to show up because they're so close. See, it's not quite there. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll use the trusty round corners. I already have rounded corners because it was the last effect that I used. Now I'm gonna lower this. I don't know if it's gonna work. We'll see. Sometimes it doesn't want to work, and in which case there's always a workaround. So here's the workaround since it's not working. Okay. I just wanted to make sure it would work. I have, you should do a Minecraft stream on the server someday. That would be great. That would be great. That's a great idea. That we've been adding more streams. So obviously we're going to be doing the Thursday streams, the Thursday night streams, but that's a great idea. Like, I need an idea for the next stream. I just got to beef up on my Minecraft skills because it's been so long. I dropped in there. I don't have a bed. Everybody was yelling at me, Bailey. They were like, go to sleep, Bruno. You know, what it do? There he is. Congratulations, buddy. I got to give you Epicapture Productions, recently married. So amazing to see, to a great lady. I can't wait to meet her. And I'm just super happy for you, dude. Super happy for you. We're doing a special design stream here where you're looking behind the scenes at how designers do what they do. And it is a lot of just playing with shapes. You know what I mean? It is a lot of playing with shapes and, you know, being patient. I know you were yelling at me, Bailey. You were like, hey, get in there. Okay, so I want to round these edges. So I went up here and grabbed the pencil tool. It was under the paintbrush tool. Each of these tools on the side of your screen here, and I'll pull this over so you can see. Each of these tools right here have a little drop down where if you select and hold, it will bring up different tools. Or you can get all of the tools by hitting these little 3 dots down here. So, just a heads up for those of you who might be following along or referencing this later. Well, we're going to go to the pencil tool. And with our object selected, there it is selected, we're going to trace around the, oh, and we did it. We did it. With that, it did it. It rounded the edges. Not quite the way I wanted it to, so I'm going to try again. That's the great thing about the undo button. There we go. Okay. So that's perfect. We're going to, I mean, it's perfect for this. Okay. We're going to go here. Now it looks a little better, and we can change the color to that. So now we have a little line here that It was mainly you and Aaron, I know. Sitting there trying not to harsh everyone's vibe. I'm getting, hey, Bruno. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, Bruno. So this is going to say Ranch. And down here it's going to say Mitch. So we got, and we'll put the logo up here as well. So let's do the bottom line now. And I can just take the line tool, which looks like a little line, and click and drag to get a line like this. I'm going to do some work here. You're going to see it. I'm going to grab that other fancy tool we used before. Ooh, so fancy. And we're going to expand the object. Actually, no, we're not going to expand that. We got to do this first. There we go. Now we're going to expand the object, expand appearance, and we're going to round the corners, which it's not going to work until we start shaving off the sides like we did before. So I know that, so I'm just going to go down here and take those two, and it looks like this one didn't quite. There we go. Those little extra feet just give it some character. Let's do this. Let's keep it the way it was. Okay, now we have a ball wrench. That was for our British friends out there. Ooh, what is that business? Oh, it was just something on my screen. Never mind. You ever do that? You ever get a smudge on your screen? And you're like, oh, there's something on my, you know, a little, as a designer, I'm like, oh, there's a little thing that shouldn't be on there. Sometimes you get like a floater. So I wanted it thicker, so I'm just thickening this up. I'll be like using a program. I'm like, what is that? Is that something on the film or is that something on the screen? And I'm like, no, it's on my screen. It's not on the actual program. Do that. I'm going to expand the appearance. And with these, you'll see one of the things I'm going to do is you have to expand it twice. You have to expand the appearance first, and then you have to go back in under expand. And you're going to keep fill and stroke checked because the stroke is what we added to thicken it up. And now you get this weird double shape, which again, Pathfinder tool, just click it and it makes it one shape. That's why I said the Pathfinder tool, pen tool, those are what you really need to learn in Illustrator. Those will be your friend. We can make this a little smaller, move it right there. Okay, now we're also going to add some shininess to this. So I am going to use the pencil tool. This is another tool, another little secret for you. I know, right? You think it's a smudge on your camera? You're like, oh, what is that? And it's just your screen. It's just like, I need something to help me out with this. Okay. Interesting thing about the pencil tool. Okay. If you grab the pencil tool, most of the time, if you like go into paint, right? Let's say we're going into paint. And we're drawing something and you're like, oh, I want to draw something. And that's what you end up with, right? You get this really jagged thing. Or let's say we're trying to draw a wave. That's a good example for Epicapture Productions. Okay, let's say we're trying to draw a wave. You know, I'm pretty good at using my mouse, obviously, because I do this for a living. But even so, that's still a little janky. You know, it's still a little, see, look at this business right here. This is not pretty. Okay. So what you can do is double click on the pencil tool and slide this to whatever smoothness you want. This was on extremely accurate. It's usually balanced. I like going full smooth if it's a big object, and then you can create it big and just make it smaller. And then we'll try again, and it smooths the line out for us. As you can see, let's highlight this and I'll show you the difference here. Okay. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points on this line. On this line, there are many more points. Okay? It's a lot. It's a lot of points, right? So that kind of shows you how smooth the smoothing tool works. With that said, we're going to use it roughly to get a shadow and a highlight on the bottle. I should make a sticker of your guinea pig pool. Well, with what I'm teaching you, you should be able to do it, Bailey. There's free programs out there, and that's the next thing we're going to do. I'm going to show you here, because I don't know why for some reason they didn't show up, but we're going to get it. Don't worry. Okay. Here is the extra bottle of ranch that I have. I'm going to take the pencil tool and I'm going to trace alongside the bottle. Now I'm going to highlight it just so I know where it's at. The stroke. And then I'm going to, now I could do this one of two ways. I could take this object and transform, reflect it, and get the other side, right? Oh, not that one, this one. But the bottle shape is slightly different and I want it to have a more organic feel. So it's not going to be symmetrical because the bottle itself isn't that. That's not what I'm doing for this, right? Like this is a very different style than let's say this. So, we're going to take the pencil tool again, and we're going to slowly trace around. Aaron, here's what you did. What you did was you told me to go to sleep, okay? And Angie's here. What's going on, Angie? How was that toxic waste? Saw you went to Five Below and picked yourself up a toxic waste, right? That was seemed like quite a sour treat there. Your face went, ooh, real quick. Meg, what's going on? So excited to learn. So excited that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. I super appreciate it. We're making a Ranch Mitch bottle here. And it's going to be Hidden Valley. So right now we've got mainly our bottle here. There are different colors and whatnot. I'm going to make some well, first what I'm going to do is yeah, let's do that. Okay. Just figuring out how I want to do this. Now I could separate these all and then go through and kind of change the color, but I'm going to do I'm just going to teach you guys more tricks. So that's what you're here for. Okay. I went ahead and united all the objects again. Again, Pathfinder, that's our friend. and I'm going to divide these types of things. Now, with these three layers, first of all, this is a fun learning thing for you. I'm going to group these objects. I'm going to press Control G on my keyboard, or Command G if you're on Mac. And I'm going to group these objects. You can also do that by selecting the objects you want, going up to Object, and then Group will be unselected if you haven't already grouped these objects. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to do what I did before, which was, I can move that for now. I'm going to use the Align tool to get them all stacked on top of each other. And then I'm going to delete the middle portion of this. And I'm going to take this. Got two options here. I'm going to ungroup it. And I'm going to take this. And I'm going to choose this color right here. And now we've got this highlight and shadow of the bottle. And you're probably thinking, well, that doesn't look very good, Brew. I don't know what you're doing this. What app is this? This is Adobe Illustrator. It's a vector-based program. So it's an illustration program. It's very, very easy to use. You can always get a free trial of Adobe from the website, or if you're a student, you can use your student discount and get some sweet deals too. Very, very, very important design question. Do you prefer Illustrator or Photoshop? I prefer Illustrator because I think we talked about this before. Illustrator is a vector-based program, and that means that these objects can be scaled infinitely. Whereas if I make something in Photoshop, it can't be scaled infinitely. I'd have to make it again at whatever size it was if it wasn't the correct size. You have to work either really, really big in Photoshop or know the exact size that you want to work in. Whereas in Illustrator, I can work in any size and these crisp lines will never look pixelated. See how I get it close in here and you still see these really nice lines, right? Whereas if I go over here to this this picture that is a pixel picture, or that's what all pictures are essentially, is pixels, you see this jagged edge, right? So I can't zoom in and still have those crisp lines if I work with something in Photoshop. So that's why I tend to work in vector-based programs. It's more versatile. I can use it wherever, but I still do work in Photoshop. So, and I'll show you something very interesting here in a bit about Photoshop and how to make a cool emote after we're done our little ranch. You see, that's right. That's how I know my fellow designers out there, because I'm like, they're all like, yes, that's what we want. Vector-based program, baby. Woo! Okay. So one of the things that I wish that Illustrator had that is a better masking tool. There's a better masking tool in Photoshop, and so that ends up being a problem a lot of times. But this is how we get around it, right? We're going to select this object, and we're going to go over here to the right, and there's this little, like, it looks like a sun. It's a circle with some dots around it, and that's our appearance tab here. And this brings to this little box called appearance. And if we look at the opacity and check down here at the very bottom of this where it says opacity, it says default. If we click on that, we can actually change how the layer is perceived. We can change it to multiply, where it essentially makes it transparent. We could even take some of the color away like this and make it desaturated. There's lots of different things you can do with this. It's really fun to play around with to see what you can come up with if you just kind of change this setting right here. There's a color burn, which is interesting. But for now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to multiply. It's really dark. So I'm going to lower the opacity to like 20. Okay. And that's about the same size or the same color. Oh my gosh, wow. Look at me. The exact same color as our outline. So I don't want that. That's crazy that I nailed it like that. It doesn't happen often. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower it just slightly down to like 10. And now we have the outside stroke is still visible. And then we're going to go over here to the highlight. And again, we're going to change the transfer mode of this to let's see what we get here. Usually screen is for whites. And if we lower this, let's see what we do with overlay here. Overlay is interesting. That's really cool. Soft light is going to be softer than that. First, you have to select what you want. Soft light. Ooh, that's perfect. Okay, so now we've got this. Now we've got a shine to the bottle here, which it's still pretty, it's harsh. So I'm going to lower the opacity. And you can see it working up here. That's what I'm referencing. Okay. It probably needs a little bit more because this is going to be at a small size. And that's another thing to do. As you're working on something, you zoom out, zoom in. Oftentimes we work really close to whatever it is that we're doing as designers or artists in general. You just get really close and in on the fine details. And so it's you want to take yourself back a little bit and see, like, how does this look from a small thing? And I can see it still has a little bit of the shine there as a small image. I can go in here and beef it up even more to like 65%. And while it may look really harsh up close, you know, if we zoom out, we can see that it looks better like that. So let's keep it moving. Now we have the bottle done. That's pretty good. Doesn't look like we really need to do much more on the bottle design portion. So what we're going to do now is move on to this design. And again, I'm going to go up here to the pencil tool and I'm just going to kind of rough trace over these objects. Yes, we'll save it as a document. We'll do that. Don't worry. It's like prompting me to save. Ranch Mitch is what we're going to call this file. Ranch Mitch. Okay. Include linked files. Okay. Here is progress. I know, we're making progress. We're making progress. So we have... Let's highlight these. See what we got going on here. Okay. So we can see what they did over here. This person just kind of took the easy way out and was just like, I'm going to make, this. And this person really got into it. And it looks really good. So I like what they did. Let's keep it going with this. Now I'm crossing these lines intentionally because when I use the intersection tool from Pathfinder, I need the lines to intersect. Otherwise, it won't see them as a shape. So we've got this. They added a sun in there, which was really interesting. Let's go ahead and take these and we'll use this as a reference. Okay. Get rid of these. And we're going to go up to the Pathfinder tool again. You guys, you knew it. Pathfinder tool, you called it. And now we have something that should look more like. Oh, here's what we're going to do. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, we want to have trying to see here the lines that make sense. Okay. I'm going to take these lines right here. Not that one, but these. We're going to go over this again. See this little doohickey here? Ah, that's not what we wanted to do. That's not what we wanted to do. He didn't come along to play. There he is. He didn't want to play. How dare him. We're going to add a gradient. Thanks for being so patient. We're adding a gradient to this Ranch Mitch bottle. Ranch Mitch. There it is. Let's grab. So it's not there. I'm going to go up here under window and go to gradient to bring it up. And I'm going to dock it over here. And I'm going to make sure that my fill layer is selected. Hey, Phil. And then I'm going to grab this nice yellow and this really dark green. Then if I go over here to the actual tool, I can decide where I want the gradient to be. Hi, Kayla. I'm so excited that you're here. Woohoo! I've been excited about it too. You know, I've wanted to dabble in some design here. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. For this one, we're going to add the gradient as well, and we can modify it. Take this eyedropper tool that they lovingly put in Illustrator, which they didn't have for a long time. We're going to lighten it up, and then we're going to drag to make this. And with this one, I'm actually going to add a third point in there. So just this top ridge is doing the sun stuff. Okay. Let's do the same with this. We'll copy that. Same with this. We'll copy that. And then we will go up here. Actually, this one's more like this one. We'll go up here and taking it right to the edge. That way, looks like the sun is kind of hitting that area. Maybe it's a lighter piece of grass. Who knows? It's whatever you want it to be. Isn't that what Bob Ross would say? I think so. That's what Bob would say. Hopefully, you guys can hear the music. It's pretty chill, so it's very enjoyable. And hopefully the sound effects aren't echoing. I did some finagling. I had to switch some things around again, but nobody's mentioned anything, so I think it's okay. Let's bring it from down here. Okay. Now there are these lines. These like lines right there. There's a couple ways we could do that, but since this is going to be so small, I think I might omit them. I think I might just omit them. So I think this looks too dark, right? Or too light. So in comparison, but it might just be my imagination because of the sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some colors from the sky on here. And hopefully that fixes the problem. My eyes. If not, then I will show you a workaround. I did start an hour ago. It's probably it might just be playing from the start. I don't know. I don't know why it does that. I don't know why it does that. You're asking a good question, Krista. Everybody, Krista! Stream royalty. Queen Krista has arrived from the court of of Mozart dog, she bequeath upon you banana bread most good. Also, hi. Okay. We're gonna go down again. Ooh, see that? Now that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. Either way, I can take this entire artwork here and I can recolor it, which is really interesting. So I can take it and darken it. Maybe I want it to be more muted, not as bright. Something like that. And then that changes it. Well, it did. If the OK button was there. Why that's not working is beyond me. Here it is. I don't know why that one was not working for some reason, but it wasn't. That's why I got all. So we're going to bring this in. Just like that. And now we've got something a little more manageable. Well, thank you, Coordinate. What have you missed? You have missed, we are making a ranch bottle, of all things. Ranch Mitch. For the Ranch Mitches out there. Okay? I know you're probably thinking, what did I leave you to? What has been happening? And you're right. So the story behind Ranch Mitch is from the Try Guys. Keith says that he is something that rhymes with Mitch. I'm not going to say on stream because we're family friendly. And he always calls himself that. And so we were talking about ranch on the stream with Nicholas, and I said, I'm a Ranch Mitch. And because I didn't want to say that word. And Mitch rhymes with it. And there's a drummer named Mitch Mitchell, which I always thought was just the funniest name of any guy that could have a name. His parents were like, what's our last name? Mitchell. What should we name him? Mitchell. Mitchell. Like, we were talking about Home Improvement the other day. With Wilson. What's the typeface for Ranch Mitch? Now, this typeface is not what we're going to be using, but this typeface is Brevia. Brevia. I need to get my glasses fixed. I haven't got them in 2 years, guys. 2 years. Bravia is what it's called, I believe. And no, Brevia. Brevia. We're going to do the same thing with this. Now, I really liked what we did with the gradient, but I feel like we need to do a gradient for this part too. So let's add a gradient. This will be interesting. Take this, grab Grab that dark portion. Grab that dark portion. Grab that light. Grab that light, and we need to add one more. Okay, one color too many. Let's make this the same color as that one. There we go. We're doing it. Thought it looked familiar. Yeah, we're going to be trying to do something similar to Hidden Valley, or grabbing ourselves a free font from Adobe. Oh no. What happened? Okay. And I don't really like the placement of this. I might just do one color here, because it's so harsh. Let's drag these to make it less harsh on the front. Okay, that looks better. Now let's take that, we'll duplicate it, and then we'll just grab these colors. We'll use the dark. We'll use the dark and grab the lightest portion that we have. Okay. You don't really need to change the top here because it won't be seen. So now we've got a more full looking bottle, as it were. It looks more 3D-ish. And now we're going to go ahead and finish it up with the text. It's really not that hard. It's really not that hard. It's knowing what, I mean, it's having an eye for design is probably the hardest part, right? Like that's a hard thing to do. And that just came with a little bit of education. So, time spent doing stuff, and someone else might look at it and be like, not really my style. I don't really like that style or whatever. But this is what we're doing for our ranch Mitch. It's going to be more organic looking, because ranch gives me that vibe. And we just wanted to do something quick that anyone could do. If I was going to do this and make it really perfect, I would use my pen tool on my tablet. But since not everyone has a tablet, I wanted to make this approachable for everyone. So that way, if for some reason you wanted to do this at home, you could. And one thing I'm going to do here, interestingly enough, is I'm going to duplicate this. Copy it. And I am going to shrink these down. And see this little guy? I hate that little guy. I don't like him. He's gone. He's gone. Okay, making this super small. And then I'm going to copy this and put that right there. Why? Because move it up. I don't know, I want to. Just want to give it that look. it's interesting to design for something that is both going to be small and large at the same time, right? Because eventually we might do not eventually, we are doing stickers of these different designs. So we're going to take these. I know they don't have the these are the old emotes. I'll reload them. This is the new one I'm going to save. Always save your progress periodically. It's the biggest thing I can say. Always save it periodically. Now that we have our bottle, the bottle design I think looks really good. Yeah. I don't really want to do any more with it. I'm going to trace around these objects. I'm just using my mouse. Okay. That looks good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just going to take that shape, move it over here. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Oop. If you mess up, there's always an undo button. Don't ever feel like you have to use your first attempt at something. Like that, for example. And this is a perfect example of actually why you would want to move this down. I need more points. Not that many. To give it more shape. And it would try and straighten it too much. If I had it on smooth. Okay. I don't say, do I need that little curl? Do I want that little curl? What did this person do? No, they didn't use it either. Just because it's at that small of a size, I don't think it's gonna be necessary. So I'm just gonna keep it like that. Oh yeah, nothing worse than working. Best tip ever, right? Just save all the time. Whatever you're doing, just save. Yeah, that's a good idea. For everything you're working on, if you're a designer or something, is just save often. Yeah. So Google autosave, yeah, is amazing. Illustrator and Adobe products have that auto save, and that can be both a blessing and a curse. I've had a huge file one time that was so big. Whenever it would save, it would take like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes to save the whole project. So auto save would just come on, and I'd be like, I wasn't ready to wait 2 to 3 minutes. But here we are. I am going to copy this because this is about the same. It's the same gradient design that we need. But I'm going to change the color. Same with this. Is probably this one. Okay. That looks so good. And they just put ranch at the top, which I like that. They were just like ranch. Okay. Now we need typefaces. The fun stuff. I always like working with type. I'm going to bring this down. A really good thing to learn is hotkeys, especially in Adobe products. One of my favorite is just holding the Alt key. Brings up these two little arrows. See how it switched from one arrow to two arrows. You might not be able to see that, but there are two arrows there, or at least it looks like a smaller arrow to you guys. That is the duplicate arrow, which if you grab it, you can duplicate an object, move it around. So I use that quite a bit. We're just going to work with the word ranch right now. And we're going to change it to white. And we're going to go through and see what we got. Now this is a serif font, meaning it has these little feet. A sans serif font is like this one. It doesn't have feet. It doesn't have any little thingies on the end. So these right here, these little feet, that makes it a serif. Sans just means without in Latin. So Jamie! Woohoo! Jamie, what it do? Welcome in. We are learning, we are working. No one has sent in a bean yet, which is a surprise to me. You guys are just like letting me work. You're like, nope, this is important stuff, and I appreciate that. So I'm just gonna give myself a little oh, it won't do that. I have to go over here. I'm gonna give myself a little sour bean because I like them. Woo! Woo! Okay. I ordered some sour blueberries, dried blueberries. They're supposed to be here Tuesday. You just enjoy the chill vibes. I appreciate that, Jamie. Thank you so much. Lurking is cool. That's no problem. Don't feel obligated to, join in and, chat it up, right? If you just want to sit back and relax and watch, that's what we're here for. You do you. I'm going to be working with this this typeface right here, so I need to make sure that it is sentence case. And already I can tell that's not the right font, as you can see. First thing I'm going to do is take down the tracking. The tracking is the overall distance between all the letters. Kerning is the individual distance between each layer or each letter. There's a term called leading. That is the distance between two pieces of text like this that are stacked on top of each other. It's all very important in typography. Well, I appreciate that, Jamie. Thank you so much. This is what I do all day, essentially. So, oh, that one looks kind of cool. It's bold italic. Let's see if there's a non-italic one. Here we go. That's pretty darn close. That's pretty darn close. We're going to keep that as a candidate. I also like the R better than the R here, but I like the C. Well, no, the C is pretty cool here too. The A is not bad. It's pretty dang close. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. We're gonna keep that. And I'm gonna see. what this looks like. Interestingly enough, what we're going to have to do is... Problemo. These are on the wrong layer. So let's move those up and lock this layer. Okay. Hopefully we hear from them, and hopefully they get online. Definitely want to see you guys. That's another reason why we love seeing you guys, and seeing you join and being a part of everything, is we know you're okay. We know you're here with us, right? That's part of the stream, is our interaction with you. That's why I'm doing this. You guys wanted to see it, and so there we go. So I'm going to take this, and I am going to come in here to the type tool, and I'm going to click in on the line that I just made, and now it will write on that little line that I just drew, which is pretty awesome. And if I come over here to the paragraph tool, I can change that to be centered or center aligned instead of left aligned. And then I'm going to raise that up, and we'll make it white again, which I don't know if this is a off shade of white. I think it might be. I'm going to grab that, try and grab that blue. Yeah, that looks like that blue. Okay. Got the Quit the Build there. Quit the Build brand ranch. Ooh. Not that much. There we go. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now, one interesting thing we can do is, if we want to make this look, and it's not something I might stick with, but if we want to make this look a little more organic, then we can turn it into a shape by using the type tool and create outlines. It's the same thing as expand appearance. And then we can take it and use that same effect, round corners, and see if it gives us something more organic. Now, obviously it's looking a little rough right here. If we drop it down to like 2 pixels, we've got something that looks a little more rough and less perfect, which we don't want it to be too perfect. Life isn't always about perfection. Some people try to attain it. Got news for you, it's not going to happen. So be comfortable with the little flow that you have, the curves of your body, the little mistakes here and there. They're not mistakes. It's the way you are. It's part of your uniqueness. Think of it that way. Something that no one else has. Okay, we've got Quit the Build there. Now we need Big Ol' Ranch. Big ol' ranch daddy. I'm going to take this, duplicate it as well. We'll keep that up here. We can get rid of this one. I like to keep duplicates of whatever text I'm working on, just in case something doesn't look right, then I can fix it. The kerning in this text is pretty good. I can change that a little bit though. Now I'm going to take this and do the same thing. Create outlines. I'm going to take rounded corners and see what we get here. The bigger it is, let's see what we got. Looks interesting. Bark, bark. It's my dog down there barking away. Okay. Let's move this up here. Let's grab both of these. Move it up ever so slightly. And now this looks more organic. It might look a little wonky or weird, but from a distance, it looks more organic. And that's what we want. We want it to look like maybe it was hand-drawn. You know, hand-drawn, hand-painted right through there. That's looking pretty darn good. We could probably add a few clouds. I mean, I don't think it's necessary as I'm looking at it. But we're ready for Mitch. We are ready for Mitch. Here's the Mitch part. Mitch, and we're going to use this text right here, which I think is like almost like it's almost like this. This will be a thick font for us to use for that. It's probably might even be like Arial thin or condensed. I don't know if I have any condensed. Yeah, that might work. Okay. And we're going to Mitch. I really appreciate that, Kayla. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, this is kind of like the work that goes into some of these designs, like, you know, these right here. And we're going to be turning those into stickers. I know, it's going to be awesome. So we're almost done with this one, which is really cool. Let's lower that. And we'll go ahead and... Oh, we already have that up here. I already did. Good job. Good job, me. Let's go to type, create outlines. And we're going to go to round corners. And that already looks like we did. Let's add a little bit more. So you already clicked OK, and you're like, oh man, it didn't quite give me the vibes that I wanted. That appearance tab, same one where we did the opacity, all that stuff. That's where our effects showed up. So if we go over here to the right to that the appearance tab, we can click that round corners again and beef it up. See what we get. Ooh, much better. Excuse me while I blow my nose. Okay. Ranch Mitch. Slightly tilt it. Let's do that. Yes, everything that we do, Bailey, for everything that we do for these emotes, we try to put in Discord as well. So not only will they be on YouTube, they will be on they'll be on Discord and TikTok as well. Thank you. I appreciate that. There is a lot of time. I think a lot of people don't realize how much time goes into anyone's art or what it takes to play an instrument. You know that very well, Krista. And all they see is that end product. They don't hear the all the time and practice that people put in. I'm gonna expand these so they are just a little QTB there. Now, a good rule of thumb when working with text is never squish it. Never stretch it out like this unless you know what you're doing. And chances are you don't know what you're doing. So you always want to scale it proportionally. Designers will break this rule in very interesting circumstances. For example, if I wanted to take this Mitch and make it warp it a little bit, I could take it and make it look like it's more on a bottle. So I could do it like this, right? That's a little too much. So what I would do is I would take this, expand the appearance again, and then I might lower it like this. And now I've got something where I've squished the text, but I've compensated for it in a way that adds a little bit of depth to the surrounding bottle. And this has a green stroke on it, which is interesting. So what we'll do is I will create a little square and I'll figure out what this green is. And it's this color, which I will copy. Then I will take Mitch, add in a stroke, and change the color. Okay, and you're probably thinking, oh, well, that doesn't look as good as it did before. You're right. That's why we're going to put the stroke behind the outside of the text instead of all into it. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that that you guys really like this. This is awesome. That really makes my heart happy. It does. And that is, I know. We'll keep this. Let's thicken this up a little bit. Not that thick. Okay. Somewhere between Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. That's about how thick we want it. Okay, we're gonna keep that. Wait. Sorry. Isn't there a beef between them? That's the only reason I thought of them first. I'm gonna rotate this by coming over here to the transform tool. Who's Mitch? Ashley? We're all Mitch. If you love ranch, because Mitches love ranch. Okay? So, just saying. I'm gonna come over here to the transform tool with this selected, and I'm gonna click this, which is rotate. And then if I click it and roll my mouse wheel, I can change it a degree or however much I roll. So I'm going to tilt it ever so slightly because this is that way. It's kind of to the side. You don't like ranch, Alex. That's okay. There are some people that don't like ranch. I know. There's some people that don't like ranch. It's okay. I understand. That makes you a Mitch. Ashley, you are a total Mitch for ranch, okay? It's true. I'm gonna take this and duplicate it with that little trick I taught you. And I'm going to group it and put it up there. And I'm going to take this and duplicate that and shrink it down. Feels like we're like on a little, like, I don't know. No, go back. Let's do the same thing we did here. Let's see. Let's put this up here. I want it twice. Or is that too much? That's too much. Okay. Ranch. Okay. That looks pretty good. Let's go down here and let's bring these all forward like so. And now we've got Ranch Mitch here, which I'm going to group these objects. So I'm going to select them all and then deselect the ones that weren't the center sticker here. Now, if I need to move it, we've got that. So, we've got this. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Pretty good. And that is a ranch Mitch if I've ever seen one. I think we need to make Mitch a little bigger. So I'm gonna click in on this. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Now we'll take all of it, group it, and let's get rid of everything else and move this to a new layer so that we can look at our finished artwork alone. Ranch. How many will I make? I'm gonna make this one, and then I'm getting ready to make another one with a different program to show you that. So let's. Oh, okay. First of all, let me go back. I'm gonna preserve this and duplicate this, so that way I can make it bigger. Oh, I forgot. Dummy. Duh. We gotta add some little, like, specklies in there. You know what I mean? Ranch has specklies. Can't believe we almost forgot that. Quite that big, but maybe lumpier. So we'll take I'm just taking 1 point from each of these little shapes and moving it around so that way it doesn't look so perfect. Can't forget the speckles, right? We got to have those in there. Okay, yeah, see, these are looking more, this one's still a little wonky. Let's get that going. Yeah, making speckles on ranch, what it do? Out here, Oregon. Yeah, we're making speckles on ranch. Yeah. What it do? Tell them about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Said.
Woo!
said, woo! Said, woo! Said, woo! That was the flavor. That was the flavor nugget. Was this. All of that. Woo! Yeah. Said. Woo! Woo! What? Woo! Yeah. It's the flavor. Like that nougat. Okay, I have enough now. Here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, take you guys. Oh, what? Josh coming in. What it do? Yeah. With the 5 spot, Josh must have loved all that, woo!
It's time.
That means we're going to be going to the beat zone. That's right. Josh, you get to pick bean. Green bean, baby. That is all my favorite. Oh, and 2 popped out, and I'm going to take 2. It is a green and a yellow. Let's... it's a good one. Woo! Get a shower. Oh, I feel it in my teeth. Oh. I'm sorry, Alex. It was a good bean. Good bean. Good bean. Team Bad Beans. Hey, that's what we're going to be doing. You're making some sticker sheets here. Okay. We got our specklies. Oh, I do. I do. Let's see here. Were hers really small? What was my inspiration? She did. I don't think they were as dark. That's the issue. About the same size. I like this shade of gray though. So let's go up to like here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take... Whoops. Okay. And we're going to... Go up here to object, reflect this. Now it's the opposite way, and we can move it over here. Doesn't matter that it's the same because you're only going to see the other half of it anyway. And if that bothers you, you can honestly just rotate it a quick 90 or 180 and get an even different pattern. So this looks a little odd to me. So I'm gonna take these two, duplicate them, rotate them, squish them a bit. Not quite. Let's move this over here, space them about out a bit. It's looking better. Can always take these and move them around. Like these guys that aren't being seen, move them. This big daddy right here, still a honking piece. Let's get him. Taylor, welcome back. Yeah. Welcome back in. We're putting the little good stuff on the ranch. I don't know if we should do a lot or it looks pretty sparse. So I'm going to say we have enough. What we need to do is take these like this, okay? They're in different groups right now. So I'm going to take each of these, ungroup them, group them, and then I'm going to take it and we're going to spread them around. That's right. Looks like we have enough. What we want to do is make it so they're a little more spread apart. Somebody's got quesadillas? So I'm working on a TikTok series where we have a daily winner where, you know, we'll be like, I don't know. Today winner will receive a bottle of ranch, seemingly ranch, made by the makers of, is that ketchup? And can you believe it's not butter? Ranch. It can go on pretty much everything. That it's going to be like that. So, is that a good idea? Would you watch that? If I did a daily, if they did a thing, that was just me improvising. So, you know, the other stuff is going to be better, hopefully. Maybe not. Maybe I'll have to use that ranch bit again. They really need to make a quesadilla emoji. I'm with you. I love saying quesadilla. Reminds me of... Yep, that's a smudge, not a thing. Okay. We're just talking about that. I want to put this one up here. And in that like little corner. No. Right there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And okay. There we go. That looks better. That looks better. See, sometimes you have enough. You just overcompensate a little bit. I think we could probably spread some of these out a little bit more. Let's go back in here. Okay. Okay. Let's move this little guy over here. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. What was cringe? What was cringe? What did I do? My ranch thing. That's too cringe. Don't do that. How does that look? How does that look? I think that looks pretty good. Okay. We're going to get rid of this. Quesadillas. Oh, sorry. It's from watching Napoleon Dynamite. I watched that so much. That was just one of the things that we just watched as youths growing up. Ranch Mitch. And maybe we have like little like droplets of ranch coming out. And then maybe we'll make like a puddle of ranch. Get out of here, you. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Let's see if we okay, forgiven. Let's save. Let's generate. What vector graphic do we want to generate? Describe the vector graphic you want to generate. A pool of white. Oh, that's gonna be. Let's not do that. A pool of range. Let's just see what it does. This is gonna be bad. I should have done like a puddle of ranch, because that's more so what it is. It's not really a pool of ranch, it's a puddle of ranch, and this is gonna give me something really. Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, I figured you were gonna give me that. You're gonna give me an actual pool of ranch. Like that's. Duh, Bruno. You should have known better. Okay. Let's see if we can do like let's see. Generate puddle of white paint. We'll just do white paint and see if it does that. Flat white paint. Let's see if that'll work. Paint, because I don't want it to do ranch. I just want it to be a flat object. Let's just see what it does with flat white object. The exactness of the AI is ridiculous. Let's see. What is it doing here? Oh, see, it really did paint. It did paint. I don't want that. Just like a puddle. Let's just do a puddle, okay? Let's go back. Let's go back. How about a puddle? Just a puddle. Just a puddle. Real simple puddle. See, sometimes this stuff is more oh, okay. It's giving me something now. Here we go. That looks bad. That's doable. Okay, that's doable. So we'll take this. Okay. Take these. Why is it being... Okay. Okay, here's what we'll do. Take that off, take that off. There we go. Why does it have such a wide berth? What is all that? You see that? Like, why? Why is it that? I don't know. It's such a wide object. If you're just listening to this stream out of context, it's really weird. It's just like me randomly saying, why does it have such a wide berth? What are we even talking about? Oh my gosh. It is in that. I don't even think we're gonna need the other rings in it. What? Get out of here. Let's expand it. When in doubt, expand appearance. There we go. Wait, why? Why are you still... Let's see if I just take that. Get rid of it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted it to make. Just a shape. Just a shape. And it decided to be really fickle. I'm gonna go up here and find something called simplify. If I knew where it was, it would be simple, but it's not, which is kind of odd. Here's what I'll do. Quick Google search. That's what you do when you don't know what you're looking for. Where is Simplify in Illustrator? Oh, is it object? Didn't look like it was an object. Am I looking over it? Path. Ah, there it is. Okay. Yes. The reason I'm doing this, and that took me all of whatever. Never be too afraid to admit when you don't know something and you have to look it up. It's better to do that than to spend 15 minutes trying to find it or whatever. Just use Google. Figure it out. So we got these little droplets coming out. One of them should probably be like a circle. And you can also do things like warp the path. Like inflate it. Won't really do much if I don't come in here and okay. You can also take this and add a little bit of gradient to it. So, for example, take this. No worries that it's not the right color. We'll just use the little dropper tool. And we'll use that. And we can lighten it up a little bit. Kind of like that. And then we will take that gradient, and right here we can change the type from linear, which is what we've been using, to radial. And we swap the colors and go back to our tool. You can see we get this nice circle here that we can then adjust the size. And now we've got more depth to that. And the same with this. I've just added the gradient to it, which I had before. If I go to that, looks really good. Changing this to 90 degrees so that the dark part is on the bottom and the light part's on the top. And we could add some splashes, but I think I'm just going to keep it at that. And then we can go in here, grab these guys. And we can just reuse them over here. I'm going to copy those and take them away. Oh, missed a guy. It's always best to reuse assets you have. No sense in trying to do it all from scratch again. That one's not working. But you know what will work? This one. You guys are making me want quesadilla. I gotta watch myself, Jen, so I don't cringe everybody out. Just eating. I don't know if I like them there. Let's take these and lighten them up. I don't know why. There it is. Okay. I'm going to stretch this to its absolute limits on this square. So that way it is the biggest it could possibly be. I feel like it needs a little something down there. Otherwise you're like, is this ranch? Is this, what is this? Rid of all these little dupes, and then there we go. Whoa, whoa, let's save. I don't know what that was. Gotta hit a button. Okay, we'll squish these guys. There we go. Now they have a little bit more depth. A little smaller in the back. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see your message there, Meg. What's the best file type for exporting an email? Well, you're about to find out. We're about to find out because that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to leave that the way it is. We are done. There's our Ranch Mitch emote. I'm going to take this and squish it a little bit. Bring it down here. I want to double check everything. Ranch Mitch, there it is. So now, we're going to save our file. And we're going to go up here to File, Export for Screens. And we're going to change this to Ranch. Get out of here. Ranch Mitch emote. We're going to put it in. I've already got a folder saved out here for it. And it is going to be a PNG with a transparent background. Okay, so there is no background. So we're going to export it. And now, we look. Here is our emote. Ranch Mitch. And there we go. Looks pretty good. I like it. Now, the reason I tipped it is because this is as big as it can be. In there, it can be a little bit bigger if we tip it to the side. And this is you can still see what it says here. Go back. Ranch Mitch. You know what that is. There it is. Ranch Mitch. And now we're going to move over to another little fun program called Photoshop. Alex fell asleep. Listen, this would put this music would put anybody to sleep. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna create a 1080 by 1080, and we're gonna make it 300. If I was designing something, I would make it 600, but 300's fine for what we're gonna do. Okay. This is Photoshop. There's our Ranch Mitch file. I'm going to go over here to a picture of me. Here we go. There's my face. There's my face. Now, if you don't have Photoshop, that's okay. Like I said, you can always get a free trial of it. There are other programs to do this exact same thing in, but Photoshop is the easiest, and I'm gonna explain why. So pay attention, because this is gonna go fast. Once with our picture in here, we're going to, there's only one layer, it's over here. We have it selected. We're gonna go up to select. We're going to go to subject, and it is going to select us, or me, rather. And then I'm gonna go down here to this mask button, hit it, and boom, there we go. All done. I don't mind that little green thing is in there. Don't really care for it because it's going to be so small that you won't see it. But there we go. That is the easiest way to remove the background of a picture. Now, if you don't have a green screen, it's no big deal. What's going on, Megan? What is going on? We are just making some emotes here. We've already made Ranch Mitch in Illustrator, and we're moving on to Photoshop for those pictures that you want to do. So if you've got a face, which most people have a face, you want to put that face as an emote, this is how you do it. Green screen always works the best. Why do we use green screen? Because it's the furthest color away from our face. So it's easy to pick up whatever's on a green screen. They used to use blue, then they discovered green was even better. Before the green screen, they didn't even know that green was a color, apparently. So now they use green instead of blue. But it's the easiest way to do it. If you don't have that, you actually don't need to do it. If you are just taking a picture on a blank background, AI can pretty much do a good job. It can do a good job even if you're not on a plain background. So the easiest way to make sure it's a quick one and done, just pose in front of a wall. Like, most people have a wall in their homes. It's part of the structural integrity of a building. So with that said, all you have to do is go to select and select subject right here. Select and then subject. And that will give you the sauce. Everyone is asleep. Life is great. Oh, you gotta love that as a parent when everyone is finally in their jammies and you're like, it's time for relaxation. We're gonna beef up this photo a little bit. So I'm gonna go down here to the bottom. You might not be able to see it, but at the bottom, let's go ahead and don't worry, I got you. Okay. At the bottom of your screen, of Photoshop, there's a couple different tools down here. This one's like effects. This one's your mask tool. This one's an adjustments layer, and that's what we're gonna select. This is a folder to like group things. This is a new layer, and this is a delete layer. So very, very important tools that you'll become familiar with if you use Photoshop. But we're going to add an adjustment layer, and we're gonna go to vibrance. And we're gonna make this big again. And with the picture selected, we're gonna go up to vibrance and boost it all the way up to 100. And saturation, we're gonna boost that as well. Not too much, just enough. You don't want to look like that. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe that's what you're going for. But that's not what we're going for here. We're going for just a more punchy look. And conversely, if you go the other way, you will get grayscale. So I'm doing plus 15 for saturation, and vibrance is at 100. Now, there is a way to generate generative fill. Continue the pattern and fill in a shoulder. Let's see if this works. Might have to select more than that. And that's the other thing, knowing what you have to select, but we'll see. There's a lot of fun that can be had. That's not it. That's not it. Let's do this. Generate a shoulder with the same pattern as the shirt. Oh, all the beans to the stream. They're like, it's better than mean beans. They're like, it's okay. Well, there's my shoulder, I guess. It's all beefy. That's my armpit, I suppose. Hey, that one actually doesn't look half bad. That doesn't look half bad right there. Wow. That is so interesting. Okay. That's crazy. Let's use that. Let's do it. Okay. Let's turn this into a smart object, convert to smart object. And then we are going to come up here and select using the select tool, the quick selection tool. We're just going to select this color, and we are going to, we're going to go up to select inverse, and then we're going to hit the mask button, and there we go. Now I've got a shoulder It looks very good compared to what we had before, which was this. So that's what it added right there. I wanted to be able to have the full shoulder, didn't quite have that in there. I've got pretty broad shoulders. That's a pretty good representation if you ask me. Like, that's pretty darn good, especially with a complicated pattern. Like, to fill in the shoulder there to look natural looks darn good if you ask me. Now, we can take all three of these and make them into one thing with convert to smart object. The reason we use convert to smart object instead of anything else is because it allows us to have non-destructive editing paths within Photoshop. When you rasterize an object, it's flat forever. It is that object. Whereas if I need to change something, now that it's an object, I can double click and go in here and change whatever's in here. So if I wanted to, like, let's say I wanted to get rid of that little gray spot, I could do that. Just go in, or a green spot here. Oh goodness, this is that weird song. Here we go. We'll want to go down to the actual layer that it's on, and we can kind of roughly go about grabbing the green spot. Now what I'm doing is I'm using the Alt key again to deselect what I don't want, and keeping this, letting go of it, will allow me to select what I do want. And then I can come up here to select and mask, and I can smooth it out, feather it out a bit. Okay. And then if I come over to my mask layer, because I already have one, and go down to the brush tool, I can should be able to, maybe not, there it is. Using the right color, can come in here and erase that portion. But that being said, it looks really weird with that there, because glasses are weird when you take that away. It's actually really weird. So we're just gonna leave it. But that's just to show you how you can, now if I wanted to keep that setting, what I would do is I would just save this portion of the converted object, and then when I go back that other layer, it is already there for us, ready to go. So there we go. There's our picture. Now again, I'm going to tilt this a little bit, raise it up, drop me. I want to take up as much space in the box as possible. And the reason is because emotes are very small. Very, very, very tiny. Okay. That looks pretty good. And then we're going to go up to File. Actually, one thing we can do is you can take a stroke, add it to the outside of it, and add some pizzazz to it. Let's add one that's the same color as my shirt instead of just blue and purple, that which are, let's go down to the oranges. I like those color combos, blue and purple. Okay, now I've got a cool little stroke around my body, which you can take the box right here and increase the size. can also put it to the outside so that way it's behind everything. And then with that change made, you will need to lower everything just a little bit so that way it actually fits onto the screen. What's the difference between stroke and drop shadow? So stroke applies an even outline to your entire object, whatever it may be. A drop shadow is adding depth to that object. So you can use them in tandem. So if I wanted to add a drop shadow to this, I could. And you can go over here and with drop shadow selected, you can take this shadow essentially, and you have to realize that this shadow, even if it is straight, it's still gonna be like, let's say we try and make it the same as that, right? Like we can add a nice little drop shadow here to this, which actually looks pretty cool. Let's grab like a color from my shirt that's kind of balanced with it, like that. Okay. So now we've got this cool little drop shadow that's added onto it. You can change the size, where it'll fuzz out. I like to have it a little sharp. So the difference is that the stroke, as you can see on the box over here, is added to the complete outline of it, whereas the drop shadow is added behind it. The benefit of each of these depends on what you're going with, you know. The drop shadow is going to add depth to whatever you're doing. So if you're doing something more realistic, drop shadow is going to add that. If you have trouble seeing the background of something, for example, like our bottle, we don't want it directly white because it might not show up on a white background. Not everyone uses dark mode. So in order for this to show up, a stroke just adds a little bit of extraness to it, which by the way, that was one of the things that we missed here, was a stroke. So we can go back in here. And this is the great thing about taking your time with projects and kind of coming back to them, because you can then say, okay, that's why my eye was noticing a change in the style. I'm like, this doesn't quite look right, but we'll go with it. So with this selected, let me figure out what I'm gonna copy this and then select our objects here. Paste this in and raise the stroke. Now, interestingly enough, this is, now we can see imperfections in our vector object. So we can go through here and delete those little stragglers. The stroke has revealed those. And one thing I can do to make these less precise is to go up here and change the width profile like we were talking about early on. And one of these oblong shapes is really good for this, especially because now we've got something that looks more depth-wise with the stroke. These perhaps we'll use. That one looks good right here. This one not so much. Ooh, that's interesting. go up through here. Yeah, that looks cool. Tay posted something. Uh-oh. Update for everyone. Now, if for some reason actually that looked really good. Let's go ahead and with this big one, I'm actually just going to make it a uniform stroke because it's so big. And I'm going to raise this a little bit so it's thicker there. Not that thick. Lower this as well. No, it looked better. Big. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We'll go ahead and save that out again. It'll ask me if I want to replace the file, and I'm just going to say yeah. Excuse me. And there it is. Ranch Mitch. The proper little stroke. And now we can export this. That will be do it right here too. Bruno. What? Okay. Maybe this is a no face. Scorn. We'll just put Scorn. No, I'll just go over it. Uh-oh. Pre-order drop, baby. Okay. We have 2 under the belt with both a ranch here and an actual picture. Really easy to pull off both of these. If you take your time with something like an illustration and work in shapes and just kind of, you know, slice things around a little bit. You think about it like that. You duplicate as you go. It's a lot easier if you make a mistake or need to change anything. But that's pretty good if you don't have, let's see. If you don't have access to something like that, you can always go to Canva. This is something that Nick uses to create some of the stuff that you see on stream. He has quite a few different things at his disposal. Here you can create a thumbnail. It's actually quite easy. So I definitely recommend this program for those who may not have access to Photoshop, or maybe you just want to do something really quick. Canva is free. This is not an ad or a plug or anything. Well, it is a plug, but it's not an ad. It's just a good program that we end up using for quite a few different things. And as you can see, there's like a YouTube banner over here, something for your story, YouTube thumbnail, which is really great. You can go in here, select from different things like this, And with that new emote that we made, we can easily come in here and say, upload this to Canva and add it in. There we go. There I am. I'm gonna raise that up. This video got 1 million views in 2 weeks. Wow. If only that were true. This video got 2 views in 1 million weeks. Now that might be more realistic. But as you can see, we've already got something pretty good. This is the background object, which is pretty cool. We can change photo colors. That's interesting. We'll do like orange. Okay. We're gonna go over here and grab this background. Maybe it's blue. Green kind of pops. We can put, this is how the pros do it. Designing emotes, and we're gonna lower this down. And we're gonna change the color of this to orange and this to like a blue. This color to blue as well. And there we go. We have used our emote, which we created at a pretty high level. It was 1080 by 1080, so we could get a lot of use out of it. We have that available. And hey, look on the side there. There's our old friend Smoker Lady. Everybody say hi, Irma. But this is a great way to add a thumbnail, and we did that in less than like 5 minutes. Really not that bad. Pretty easy to do. We can go ahead and save it. Cue that. I got it for you. I got it. Woohoo! Don't you worry. Here it comes.
Boom shakalaka!
Yeah!
He's on fire!
That's what I'm talking about. One of the things we're going to be doing, for those of you still tuned in, not ready to head over to Nick's stream yet, we are going to be making custom sticker sheets. That's right. There is a sticker sheet that we're going to be making. Where's it at? Here. Well, I thought they had sticker sheets. Maybe they took them down. Interesting. Well, we might not be getting them from Sticker App then. I'll tell you that much. Jen, you're back. We're wrapping things up here. We've already got a Ranch Mitch completed thingamajig here. Loving it. Loving it. We've got, you know what I should have done with the other ones? And I can do that another time. Is I should have put the beans in our other emotes and then used image trace to get them to be a vector file so they'd show up and I wouldn't have to include them in the files. But I'm happy with what we got done. Not bad for a stream, you know. This kind of shows you what it goes into making some of these emotes and whatnot. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing it. We've got a lot more stuff coming up. We're going to be doing a Minecraft stream. Apparently, that's what you guys want to see is Minecraft. Okay, so
spectacular.
We're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing a Minecraft stream. I don't know what to do in Minecraft. It's been so long since I've played. I should probably build a house or something. I'm good at building a house. Like, done that quite a few times now. But yeah, we're going to be playing some good video games coming up here. So I'm super excited. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, for being a part of the stream. I hope you enjoyed the content and enjoyed learning something, and we can do this again sometime, maybe with some animation. Maybe we'll animate one of these emotes and turn it into a GIF. That would be kind of cool. So yeah, it's been great. It's been fantastic. I hope you all enjoy your time with Nick. He is going to be going live here very shortly. And we will see you guys again on Thursday. Remember, Thursday, we go live at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right after Nick's stream. So right after his stream, he usually ends around 11 my time. That's when we're going to be going live. And we might be playing Minecraft. We might save that for next Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. Well, it's not going to be next Sunday because next Sunday is the Super Bowl party. That's right. We're having a Super Bowl party here next week. We won't be watching the game because we can't do that because the NFL will literally throw fire ants into our pants. And we don't want that, okay?
He's on fire!
That will literally be our heinies if we stream the game. So we can't stream the game, but we will have the score up. Might have it on in the background, you know. So we're gonna be playing some football games, some football related games, not Madden because, well, maybe Madden. I can't rule it out just in case something goes wrong and it's like, you know, I download a football game and it's the worst game ever, and then I have to play a game of Madden. You have to watch me play a game of Madden, which is like watching a toddler try and walk or pour milk. If I had NFL Blitz, I would play NFL Blitz. There is a game that's kind of like NFL Blitz. It's called like Backyard Warrior Football or something like that. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But we might be playing that. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. If I can find NFL Blitz to play, I will be playing that for sure. Is it on Switch though? Because if it's on Switch, then we can play it. Wild Card Football is what the other one's called. Wild card football. NFL Blitz. That is for the NC. Look at that. That nostalgia. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's... They do need to add it on Switch. Apparently it must not be on there. But I'll look up. We're going to look up some... If not, we're going to be doing something like this, which is wild card football. Oh, I thought this was the trailer. My bad. It's not the trailer. But either way, we're going to check that out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. There's a sleepy kitty back there. Look at him. Aww.
Boom shakalaka!
That was the wrong button. That was the wrong button. Boom shakalaka. My cat. That wasn't the case. One more bean. One more bean for the road. It's a sour. Woo! All right. It's been fantastic. You know what they say. If you can't beat them with the build. Peace out. What a deal. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in.